in different ways.
But it's also different.
You have a
Applause.
serious. You have a serious.
Well, I want to say thank you everyone again for coming to my 7th published book, my first memoir of a chapter of my life from birth to age 20, and it's called Dark Stages. As you can see, this is the cover of my new book.
Great job on the cover.
It's basically about my life. From
You did the cover yourself, right?
Yeah. It's my friend John helped me do it. Where is John? John Price. Hello. Oh. Yeah. Well, we put it together, me and my friend, and it's basically a chapter of my life from birth to age 20, like I said, and it's just about who I was before what I call the dark that entered my life at the age of 20. And this is basically the prequel of what was my life before that happened. And it just talks, it's not all, there's a lot of good things in there, but there's also sadness and bad things, you know, because not everyone's life is a walk in the park, you know. We all have drama, we all have issues, we all have bad things that happen to us, and I chose to write about them and tell my story. And it's just I was a crybaby. But you know, it's like I said, it's not all good, but there is goodness in her too, and it's just a part of who I was before. And that's it. And the other 20 years is the other 3 chapters that will come later. And so everyone knows now I'm 40 years old.
Hi.
Going into the next chapter of my life, a new era. But hopefully the next years will be good years, I hope, and just, yeah.
They will.
Congratulations.
I was 12. So does anyone have any questions about the book or want to know anything? Or
How long have you been working on this particular one?
it was about 20 years ago when I got my word processor, and it was 96, 20 years ago. I started writing about my life, memoirs.
What would you say is your favorite chapter?
Well, even though there's good times in all 3-4 chapters, this one, I mean, the last one that I'm still living is probably some of my good years. Yeah.
At what age does it actually start? I mean, you don't start
From
at,
birth.
Like, I was.
You know, like I was
talking about
born and I grew up
one.
my early stages of life, and then up to 20. Yeah.
Danny doesn't. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Wendy,
Why did you decide on that title?
Dark Stages. Like I said, it's basically the beginning of what is to come, or that came afterwards, the dark that entered my life. It's more, chapter 2 just talks about that more in depth, and you know, eventually I'll talk more about that one. But in the meantime, it's just the stage of what came to my life, a different chapter of my life that I call dark. And yeah, that's why I call it Dark Stages.
The book is called Dark Stages.
Yes.
Does it have the good, the bad, the ugly?
Yes,
Everything.
I mean, of course, not every single second, minute, hour of my life is in here. Of course not. But most of what happened to me, the good and the bad, is in here. Yes.
So it makes it more easy for somebody to actually get to know you more.
Yes,
even
of
if
course.
They don't know really everything.
Because some people have read this, well, a draft of it, and so they know. I guess they could say that they know me a little more better, and things I've gone through in school and with friends and at home and within myself, my mind, and just things like that. How my mind just came to be. Yeah.
What?
Alani?
Is this a book that you've been wanting to publish for a really long time? Or is it?
I wouldn't say that I wanted to publish it. It was just more that I feel that it's time to tell my story. This is just like the prequel, the base of who my life was before, but the next chapter is really, I just feel I just want to tell my story. I think it's time.
It's-
But that's in due time. Yeah. Anybody? Oh, Ed?
What are some things in there that you felt that was hard to write about, and if so, how did you deal with that?
Just things about in school, why I was a loner for the most part, why I had no friends for a numerous of years, and just something I did that escalated into something that happened that way, and that's a dark part of my life. And
How did you deal with writing about this stuff that you were hesitant to write about?
Well, for me, I think it's good therapy to write about my life. It's expressing who I was and even who I am to this day.
Did you fictionalize anything in a way like that? You not as in making things up, but as in like putting it in a story structure, or
No, the only thing I
So like an
changed are
end?
people's names, and that's it.
is there like
And school names. I changed school names and people's names. That was it.
is there like an end to it, or like is
It
something that
ends,
you're working
and then the
toward?
next chapter begins. But obviously, this is the first one, so they're chronicles. I call them the Dark Chronicles. Lucy?
Okay,
See?
so now you said this is your 7th book you've
Yes,
actually released.
and my first nonfiction. Yes.
And what actually inspired you to start journaling and actually writing? To inspire others, that would be good.
Well, I remember back then. I always felt that. I wasn't gonna be around that long, and I just wanted to tell my story of why I ended up who I ended up. It was probably that was why. Yeah, but here I am, 20 years later.
And it's therapeutic too, right? Like
Yes. Yeah. Anybody else?
Yeah, is it true that Brad Pitt's going to play the part when you're 40?
Oh God,
He's busy right now.
no. Well, everyone knows. Everyone. Oh, Brand.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Do you think you're going to be writing like 20 years from now?
Yes, I will always write. You know, I don't write obviously for the money, because I'm not a best-selling author. I'm not up there like Dean Koontz, Stephen King. But I write because I want to write. It's my passion, and I love to do it. Even if I sold 1-2 books, I'll still write and publish. And everyone knows that I always dedicate a book to someone special in my life, and this next book is dedicated to my sister Priscilla. So for you, I love you, sis.
I love you. That's awesome.
So this is for you, your book.
Did you sign it?
Yeah, of course.
Where?
The second page.
Go back and get
Hold
it.
on, I'm teary.
I know, I was just.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Face the camera.
Hold on. I'm sorry.
I know, I was the same way too.
Well, most people that I've dedicated books to are here. My mother, Angie, Mike, John, Art, Priscilla.
I didn't even know.
So, I usually dedicate books to people who mean a lot to me or close to me. Or I've read at least some of my books. So, anyone else have a question?
Yes,
before I-
Danny. What is
Priscilla, we're waiting.
which book was it that you were going to make into a movie?
2 of them, The Vendetta House and The Story Miles.
Oh, your first book?
Yeah, the first and second.
And what was the other one?
The Story Miles.
Oh, that'll be good.
Yeah. See, I was wearing
Book
a
signing.
picture of my
You had that
sister.
Bieber style before Bieber had that style.
What?
The Bieber style before Bieber had that style.
I have a question, Danny.
Yeah, Giovanni.
Would one of your stories or books or plays or I'm thinking would this ever be on stage? Would you like to see that on?
Yeah, well, actually, my first dream was always to make it into a movie, a feature-length movie, but it hasn't come true. But maybe someday, you never know.
Okay.
So,
I'm gonna read your book and say, I want it to be a movie.
yeah.
Have you thought about writing?
What?
Have you thought about writing it into a script?
Screenplay.
Yeah, I have some scripts, but they haven't.
Picture.
Paparazzi.
1,
2,
2,
3.
3. Wow.
That's a beautiful picture.
You're going to be all
So
over
you want to say
Facebook.
something?
Yeah, I mean, thank you very much for dedicating this to me. This is an honor. It's wow, in shock. Honestly, but I'm extremely proud of you for all of your accomplishments, and this is, you know, of course I'm your younger sister, but I also remember, you know, some of these stories, and you know, I understand what you're saying. It's therapeutic to go ahead and express yourself and just look back at what you've gone through and look at where you're at today, you know, and you got to be proud of yourself, you know, to be able to overcome many things and you know, just keep pushing forward and keep accomplishing your goals and your dreams. And I'm very proud of you. And it takes a lot for people to write about their life.
Yes,
It
and to
takes a
tell
lot.
it too.
Yeah, you know, and
Absolutely.
that's amazing. So again,
Just
thank
writing
you
anything.
very much. I love you. Very proud
Thank
of you.
you.
And just keep doing what
Well,
you're
a
doing.
good hug.
Thank you, everyone. So let's celebrate. Let's drink. A book party. My 40th birthday. So let's.
Happy birthday!
Thank you. Thank you.